Hey y'all, welcome back to the Hebert house and the first edition of the Hebert House Book Club. I decided to put this little video together and maybe do one a quarter or maybe a month. No, probably not a month, but definitely a quarter of just what I've been reading, what I'm currently reading, and what is on my next to read radar, and share this with you to inspire you guys to pick up some of the books that I have, or you know, just to read a little bit on your own. I found it's a great way to self-help, take a little time out to myself and just enjoy getting lost in a book. But before I start, I would love for you to subscribe to our channel. I'm Leila, I'm the mom here at the Hebert house, and we like to share a little bit of our corner of the world with you guys, from cleaning to organizing to homeschool, our faith, to our trying to conceive journey of Hebert house baby number 2 after an infant loss. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos and you don't miss any Hebert house book club videos in the future if this is your thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the books that I have already finished reading and what I thought about them. The first one is this. This is Emily Lay's Simplified Life. I am an Emily Lay fiend, y'all. I love her. I'm obsessed with her. Wholeheartedly fangirl over her. She's amazing. I could probably go on and on and on. I have the books that she's written. I use her daily planner every day. I follow her on Instagram. I'm pretty obsessed with her, if you can't tell. But this is her Simplified Life book, and I actually have had this for a long time, but I got it and just had a lot going on and didn't have a chance to read it, but I've read it recently, and I'm actually going to do a vlog series on it, probably at the beginning of the year, of just how I went through the book and changed a little bit of myself with the things that are in here and how I've simplified. It's a wonderful book. If you haven't heard of her, definitely look her up. She's so inspiring and wonderful and caring and everything else. You would think that we know her in real life, but we may be best friends. She just doesn't know it yet. So, Simplified Life, I just finished reading this, and it really is just wonderful. All right, the other thing that I have finished reading, let me find it, is this one. This is The Pioneer Woman's Black Hills and Tractor Wheels. I've actually read this book probably 8 times. I read it once a year. This is the Pioneer Woman's love story with her husband, Marlboro Man. And she actually signed it for me when I met her, like years ago. When I say years, I mean like probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe. I don't know. But I love it. I love the story. I love how real she is. It just inspires me to love harder, and to, it actually inspired me to write down my love story, which maybe I'll turn into a book one year. I doubt it. But it'd be fun. Anyway, so we finished this, and Kevin and I actually read this one together, and he loved it. She's a very witty writer. Next up is When God Winks at You. We are a really huge believer in God winks. I'm going to tell you about one of them in particular. Right after we lost Everett, I was in the garage cleaning out some stuff, and I found a book that had been given to him, and like lost it, like on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably, losing it. And I just yelled out almost, God, I just want to feel close to my baby. At that point, a balloon on the ground that was from his gender reveal 2 months earlier, that was laying on the ground, a helium balloon, rose up, hit the top of the garage, and then floated out. And it was a God wink to me. It was God showing me that my baby was near to me. And I know y'all might think that I'm like crazy right now, but I believe that God shows us signs and comforts us in ways other than just his words. So when somebody recommended this to me, I got it. It's called When God Winks at You. Sorry, I take the dust covers off my books. And it's great. It really is. It's full of inspiring tales of God's coincidences. And I strongly recommend this one. All right, next up, I am in, this one. This is Lauren Graham, Talking as Fast as I Can. From Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls and everything in between. I am a Gilmore Girls fanatic. I love their show. I've watched it for more years than I want to admit, and I've watched the whole season more times than I want to admit. But it's my comfort show. It's that show I turn on whenever I'm just vegging. And so when she came out with the book, I loved it. I actually started reading it when we were in Europe last year, and like after Europe I put it down and forgot about it, and then picked it back up and finished it. It's good. Some parts of it are hard to like kind of keep up with. It's just her journey in life and her view of it. It took me a little bit of time to read, which is surprising because I feel like I'm connected to her through Gilmore Girls, but obviously this is not Lorelai, this is Lauren Graham, so maybe that was just the difference. But it is read, and I do read it in Lorelai's voice, which may help a little bit, who knows. But that is Lauren Graham's From Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls, Talking as Fast as I Can. And I'll link all of these books down below so that if you want to get them, you can through, I'll probably link Amazon affiliate links maybe, and you guys can find these. All right, so what I am currently reading is this. This is Max Lucado's Anxious for Nothing. A church in our area did a sermon series on it, and I watched a couple and I wanted to read it. I'm probably about halfway through, and it really is great. One of the things that he said in here that really stuck out with me is that as Christians, it's so easy for us to, when we're hurt, not as Christians, as humans, it's so easy for us to show our hurt on the outside when we're hurting, but God wants us to show our hope so that others can see through us that there's hope even in the worst of situations. And that's what I hope I've done through our story of infant loss, is just show everyone that there is hope even in the hardest of times. But I'm not gonna start crying, so I'm gonna move on. This book is really good. Like I said, I'm about halfway through it, and I do kind of jump around in books, but it's really good. So that is Max Lucado's Anxious for Nothing. Next up is a devotional that I'm about halfway through, and it's called about maybe a third of the way through, In Due Time. And this is by Caroline Harries, and it says Hope and Encouragement in the Waiting. And it is written by her. She has been waiting to have a child and been through unimaginable miscarriages and infant loss and everything else, and she's still in her waiting period. But she wrote this book just to encourage others that are in waiting. If you don't know, we actually waited about 3 years to get pregnant with our Everett before losing him, and now we are trying to conceive again. So this is a good one if you're in a waiting pattern. It does not have to be for a baby. It can be if you are single and you're waiting to meet the right person, if you are waiting for your dream job, if you are waiting for anything. This is just a really good book for you to find hope and strength in the waiting hours. So strongly recommend this one as well. And this was recommended to me from a friend that's going through infertility. This is the other devotional that I am doing. This is Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence by Sarah Young. And this is a devotional that I'm doing. It is a daily devotional, so it's every day. This one, it's a 60-day devotional, but I don't do it every day. But this one I do every day, and it's really good. You'll see me share this a lot on my Insta stories because it's just really good. So and what's so funny is when I share this on my Insta stories, so many of my friends are like, oh hey, I have the same devotional, which is so funny. But it's really good, and it's short, so you can get through, I just dropped all my books. You can get through it rather quickly if you need to in the mornings. It's not like a long drawn out devotional. You can read it, it makes its point, it sticks with you throughout the day. So like that one. And then these 3 books are books that I am about to start reading whenever I finish those. The first one is Jennifer Saki Hannah's Hope, Seeking God's Heart in the Midst of Infertility, Miscarriage, and Adoption Loss. And this is actually was sent to me as part of Everett's, Random Acts of Kindness. A friend of mine sent this to me as her act of kindness because she has been going through a miscarriage and loss and has been reading this book and thought that I would really benefit from it. Hannah actually is, if you don't know, Hannah is a woman in the Bible who suffered with infertility for a very long time. And back then, if your wife could not reproduce, you were able to take another wife. So her husband took another wife and she was able to reproduce, and was very mean to Hannah about it and rubbed it in her face. And you know, Hannah did, she got mad at God and she fought with him back and forth, but she never lost hope in the fact that he would give her a child, and he did. So it's such a great story. We actually have Hannah on our baby name list as one of the possibilities for future children. So I'm really excited about this. All right, next up, I've wanted this for a long time. I love Candace Cameron Bure. She's fantastic. I just love that, oh goodness. I love that she's always stuck up for her, or been strong in her religion. She started as a child actress, and in Hollywood, I'm sure it's just so easy to lose religion, but she is so steadfast in it. And this is Kind is the New Classy. I actually saw where another friend of mine on YouTube was reading it, and so I wanted to pick this up, and I got it for my birthday from Kevin. So I'm going to be reading this one next, and I love her. I just love how classy and wonderful she is. And I love how, even though she was on The View, which is like the most vile show ever, sorry if you like it, she loves it. She was able to really stand her ground. So anyways, rant over. The next one I'm really excited to read. This is Girl Wash Your Face. This is something that has come so highly recommended to me, and all of my friends are reading it currently, like all of them. And so I had to check it out, and this says, stop believing the lies about who you are so that you can become who you are meant to be. So I'm really excited about that. So I actually have read the introduction of this one, and I'm probably going to go ahead and add it into the mix, even though I'm still reading currently some others. I have ADD, so I can't stick with one book for very long. I have to read a little and then kind of switch it up. So, but I'm really excited about this one. And if I really like it, I'm sending it to my little sister, Stephanie, because I think she would really like it too. So the other book that I have on order that I'm just waiting to get in is Jamie Ivy's If You Only Knew. So I will be reading that one as well coming up. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys, this is not necessarily a book that I'm reading, but a book that I'm using, and this is the 5-minute journal. It is a gratitude journal. I actually saw on Love Meg's channel, I'll link her channel down below, where she is using a gratitude journal. It's different from this one, but same concept. And it just helps her to kind of put things into perspective, and that's what this does. So you can see it has different things. See if I can get it to focus. So it says, I am grateful for, what would make today great, daily affirmations, and then at night you write 3 amazing things that happened today, how could I make today even better. And then it also has like weekly challenges, like this one is, use your 5-minute journal today solely devoted to how others have helped you. So it's just like a way to really keep myself in focus. It's so easy for me to have a woe is me day every now and then when my life is so wonderful. And so I really have just been trying to focus on the positive, and it really has helped me be more positive. It really starts my day out in a way that is just very encouraging with this in my devotional. And so I strongly recommend this. I got this off of Amazon for a birthday present as well. So all right, that is the first edition of Hebert House Book Club. I'm glad that I got to share these books with you. If you have any recommendations of books that I should read, I'm not obviously just in the self-help department. It looks like I am, but that's just what I've been reading lately. I love fiction, nonfiction, historical, biographies, all of that. The only thing I don't like is thriller and like scary books. So if you have any recommendations, leave them down below. I would love to check out what you're reading and also add them to my book collection. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoy some of these books. God bless.